Hello everyone, this is Heather Thalheimer, and welcome to 4-Minute Friday. Today's episode is The Power of Initiative. In 2007, I traveled to North Korea and experienced firsthand the restriction on individuals' power to initiate. I had journeyed there via the Philippines as part of a service organization whose purpose was to supply heating and cooking units to homes in small villages scattered across the countryside. As we drove along the narrow roads, it was as if I was traveling back in time. The further we traveled from the DMZ, the more I became aware that there were no vehicles to be seen, no visible machinery. The fields were being harvested by rows of people moving up and down in unison. It reminded me of a Bruegel painting of rural medieval life. The bumpy ride delivered our group to the doors of a small factory-like building where the heating units were being assembled. We were invited to help with construction of the units. The idea was that we would work side by side. Not sharing the same language posed some problems, but we muddled along with good cheer. I thought about how odd we must seem to the North Koreans, especially myself, a Western woman. What did my mannerisms say to them? How did I appear? What volumes were spoken without language as we encountered each other? We shyly observed one another. I noticed emotions rising in me and wondered what my Korean counterparts were feeling. As time slipped by and we finished each small task, it occurred to me that we were constantly waiting for the next thing to happen or a new direction to come. At one point, I realized what the next logical task would be, and I used a series of mimes as if playing charades to suggest we act. My efforts to communicate were met with downcast eyes and the slight turning of heads. Without sensitivity, I had violated some cultural norm. The workers sat down on the earthen floor, and just like that, we all waited. Perhaps it felt too awkward to converse, and so they sat there with their arms hanging loosely over their knees. Eventually, the man in charge came by and gave us direction. This pattern repeated itself several times during the course of the project. Waiting, direction, waiting, but never initiating or moving forward of one's own accord. The never initiating felt so unnatural to me and caused me to reflect on the power of systems to take away a quality that is so central to being human. It made me think that I never want to be in the position to take away someone else's ability to act, or, in the words of the poem Invictus, to be the captain of their soul. And yet I thought, we inadvertently do it all the time. Because of our concepts, all too often, we assume someone can't do something since they're not qualified in our eyes. Without the power to take initiative, we'll always be stuck in the same place. To take initiative is a natural human trait, not to be constrained or hindered. Denying that part of our human nature levies too high a price on ourselves as individuals or as a society at large. Take some time this week to think about the initiative you want to take in your life. How are you supporting yourself or others to take initiative? Remind yourself that this quality is essential to who you are and enables you to be the master of your soul. Thank you for listening and wishing you a wholehearted week.